So I'm out here doing a little day hike. It's really, really freaking hot, so I stopped needing some shade to get me some water. And I thought I'd do a quick little field review going over the Baofeng UV9R Pro. Now, this is not a review of giving you the specs and what all the functions are and how to do this and how to do that on it. I'm not going to go over that because there's videos out there already of that. I'm going to go over it from the point of view of the average person who just needs a radio for not a lot of money. It's going to pretty much work, and they need something to stock up on, prepare for an emergency situation where maybe their cell phones have gone down, but they need to communicate with, say, family members or members in a community or down the street or what have you. So I've mentioned this radio before in other videos. I think on Amazon currently these things are going for about $30 to $35, depending on which color you get, what all comes with it. But I think the $35 one comes with a 771 antenna, and I want to say it comes with a spare battery, but I could be wrong. But anyway, for $30 to $35, it's hard to beat a radio that is waterproof, or at least water resistant, rainproof if you will. One that is USB-C rechargeable, and to be honest with you, it works. I've got this one, and I've got the GMRS version of this, which is the GMRS 9R Pro, I believe is what it's called. And both of them work fantastic. I've had no issues out of either one of them. This particular one, this isn't the stock rubber ducky antenna that comes with it. This is just a different one that was in my little radio bag, because I usually will swap between one rubber ducky antenna and a 771 antenna and my roll-up N9 TAX Labs field antenna. So this one, even the rubber ducky antenna that comes with it, they're pretty much all the same. Either way, they work. It works. This paired with the 771 antenna is absolutely fantastic. Currently, from where I'm at right now, surrounded by all this swamp, river bottom, and these thick trees, I can hit a repeater that is about, I think if I remember correctly, it's about 12 miles from my current location. It's not far, but all this tree cover and everything like that, if you know anything about radio, kind of dampens that signal a little bit. This one has no problem getting out through these trees. I have no problem picking up NOAA radio with it. This is pretty much the primary one I listen to, the Skywarn net for our area, and I listened to it the other day, as a matter of fact, because we've had several strong storms blow through here in the afternoons, and pick them up just fine. And if I'm not mistaken, the repeater I'm picking them up on is about 15 to 20 miles away from my house. So the reception on this radio is fantastic. The sound quality on it's fantastic. I don't really have too many complaints about it. The only complaint about it I will knock it for is that occasionally the NOAA channel will kind of cut out and cut back in. I mean, it's not often, but I don't really know if it's just because of maybe I know where I'm at right now is kind of in between the towers that NOAA broadcasts on, so I don't know if that might be why. Either way, I can pick up either one of them, and I can at least know the weather that's going on. And besides, I have a primary dedicated radio for NOAA station anyway at home, but that's besides the point. It does, like I said, it's USB-C rechargeable. I've had this thing out in the rain with the regular antenna on it, just leaned up, sitting up like this right here, out in the rain for 30 to 45 minutes to an hour at a time, playing NOAA radio, and never once did it mess up. I left the USB-C port uncovered. Now, if I knew for a fact I was going to go somewhere where I thought I was going to get it submerged, I probably would take a piece of duct tape and just cover that up, just for security and peace of mind, knowing that, hey, now no water for sure is going to get in there. And usually if I know I'm going to be doing, say, a overnighter, and I'm going to be hiking 12-15 miles away from my truck or something like that, I will go ahead and cover that up, just so that, not that I'm worried it's going to mess up, but just as a precaution, it makes me feel a little more comfortable with it. But the batteries that these come with are super cheap too. They're like 15 to 20 bucks, I think. I think 15. I might be off on that. But I've got several of these batteries, and all of them work. The radio works. I know I've seen people complain before about the little side piece right here. You know, you have to unscrew it to attach the programming cable. That doesn't bother me none. I've had no issues with mine, you know, the screw stripping or it not fitting back properly on there. I've had no issues with none of that. Yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, I've had no problems with this radio. Like I said, the sound reception is fantastic. The repeaters I've talked on with it, the audio reports I got back from other individuals that were listening to me was fantastic. They were able to understand everything perfectly. The only thing I have not tested with this radio is because I don't have anybody to really test it with currently, is, you know, like line of sight communication, person to person, simplex communication. I have not tested that with it yet, just because I don't really have anybody to come out here and do it with. Hopefully I can alleviate that soon. But yeah, I mean, I have really no complaints on it. For the price, if you're looking for a radio that you want to stock up on, and you know, you want to buy 4 or 5 of them, and you don't want to go broke, you know, spending $100 on a radio, it's hard to beat $30 to $35, especially if you just get the basic one, which occasionally will go on sale for about 25 bucks on Amazon. So if you catch them on sale and you want to spend $100, you know, you can end up with 4 of these. Even if you don't have the 771 antenna with it, you still end up with 4 of these that you can, you know, hand out to whoever. And you know that at least if I hand this out to a neighbor who's not really familiar with radio, they know how to use the radio from like their childhood, the little walkie-talkies. You don't have to worry about them really dropping this. You don't have to worry about them getting it wet. It's still pretty much going to work, because I've dropped this a lot more than I care to admit, and it's never messed it up. So durability wise is fantastic on it. Reception is fantastic on it. The audio quality, both receiving and transmitting, is fantastic. No complaints there. The waterproofness, I have no complaints. Again, I haven't went swimming with this thing for 30 to 45 minutes at a time, but it's been out in the rain multiple times from various lengths of time and never had an issue with it. Let's see. Other than that, I mean, it works. It's hard to beat the price. I can't really complain about it. This is pretty much the radio I'm going to stock up on. One thing I did do to it is right here where the knob is, the power knob, I put a little rubber O-ring there just because I wanted to make it a little harder for it to be turned. Say like if this is in my pack, I don't want to accidentally bump it on and accidentally press the transmit button. So that's one thing I did to it. And you can buy those little packs of O-rings from like Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, hardware store, wherever. And I usually put them on almost all of like my UV9Rs and such, so that it kind of prevents accidental turning on the power. But yeah, other than that, that's all I've got to really say about the radio. Again, this is pretty much my primary go-to radio. I don't have to worry about it messing up, or if something were to happen to it, I don't have to be worried about, you know, hey, I'm out $100 because I just messed up my Yaesu. This generally almost always rides with me in my day pack or my hiking bag or my whatever bag, or my woods bag. You know, it's pretty much the radio that goes in there. Especially because if I know I'm going somewhere where I'm going to be well within repeater range, it's very comforting to know that I have a way to communicate to that repeater and hopefully maybe get in touch with somebody or listen in on somebody when my cell phone won't work. Because I very often do go to places that have no cell phone service when I hike. So that's, you know, pretty much my short little down and dirty kind of crappy review of this radio. Again, I think for the money it's well worth it. I don't normally like to do a bunch of reviews and stuff like that, but I think for the money, what this costs, what it'll do for you, and the capability it gives you, I gotta say, I mean, I recommend it. I mean, I don't know, you know, you can take that for what it's worth. But again, if you have any questions on the radio, Please let me know if you guys want to see more stuff on radio. Please let me know. But other than that, that's all I got to say. I'm gonna drink some more water, knock out about 2 or 3 more miles, and then head back to the truck. So you guys take care.